Hi, man, the trailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Benton Shifts&Grins bike rack. This is going to be one for 4 bikes on the back of our 2023 GMC Yukon XL. Now, this is going to be a great option if you want to go out riding with your family and has a pretty decent weight capacity to it. So even if you have those lighter e-bikes, they will work on here. What is also really nice about it too is if you ever want to take off this second section with the last 2 trays, you have that ability, and this actually has the ability to fold up so that shank doesn't stick out when it is stored in your garage. But the first thing I want to focus on is how it's really sitting on the back of our vehicle with our bike on it too. And I gotta say, it's sitting on here fairly nice. Even with this being a larger mountain bike, our handlebars are a decent amount away, even if this is bouncing around quite a bit. And we're gonna have enough room if we want to open up our hatch, we can do that. All I have to do is come to the back of it, press this button, and it lowers down. And that's the nice thing about the Yukon, is it's gonna sit up high enough where a lot of other vehicles, if you try to tilt it this far down, it's probably gonna bottom out first, but that's not the case today. So it has plenty of room where it's not making contact with anything. And this is gonna be great if you ever need to get in here, grab any of your groceries, sit down, tie your shoes, and get ready for your ride. You can do that too. Now I'm gonna lower that back down and put it back up, and I'm going to show you the process of actually taking off that bike. And I will say, if you do have this fully loaded up with those heavier bikes on here, that is going to be very hard, so I'd recommend grabbing a friend to help you out. Now to take it off, all I have to do is undo these straps on each tire, the front and back, and then just remove this hook. Now this hook is making contact with our tires, so it's going to be great even if you have a carbon frame bike, but you can make frame contact with this as well if you like that style a little bit more. And I do like that that hook comes completely off because it's just a little bit more out of my way that way. I'll just pick it up and then you can take it out for a ride. Now you probably noticed I had to lift it up fairly high, so if you do have some of those heavier e-bikes, that might be a little bit of a hassle. Definitely keep that in mind though. Now I'm going to make sure I put everything back up and then we can get a couple measurements. But one important thing never to forget if you do take off this hook is to put it back on, because we won't be able to use this if we don't have those hooks. So I'll put these straps back into place just so they look a little bit nicer. And then the first measurement I'll get is going to be the ground clearance. So this rack is going to have a little bit of a rise here towards the back of it. So that's going to be at almost 32 inches, which is pretty high. But the reason is because when we do load this up, this is going to drop down a little bit. So that is something to keep in mind. And then for the total distance away it sits, that's going to be a little bit under 56 inches. So that is going to be pretty large for a 4 bike rack. But again, you can take off the second set of racks if you ever do need to save space, if you're only riding with one other person. We can fold this up too. And that's going to sit up fairly high over here. And that's something nice to do, is folding this up, because if you are in those tight spots like a parking spot or garage and you have the XL, that is going to be taking up a lot of space. This saves you a lot of room, and now it's only going to be sitting about a little bit under 19 inches. But with that said, we are going to start blocking a lot of stuff on the back of the vehicle. That's going to be anything like your license plate, your backup camera, and your back window. So I'd recommend mainly using your side mirrors to help you back up anywhere. But your tail lights aren't going to be obstructed either. And the way this is going to install is we're going to have a 2-inch shank that goes into your 2-inch hitch receiver. We'll have an anti-rattle bolt that goes in there and connect to a nut and a clip to secure that into place. And since this is super heavy, I recommend having a friend help you load it up. You can do it in pieces. And something to help you out with that process is going to be this alignment collar at the very back of it. And that's something where you can loosen that up, push it into place, and it'll have a little ruler on there that will line up with the very end of your receiver, so you don't have to guess where that pinhole is every time you put this back into place. So overall, I do think it is going to be a solid 4 bike rack. Yes, it is a little bit large and a little bit heavy, but it can be kind of broken down to be smaller and be more adaptable for your rides in the future. And I do like that it can work with a wide range of bikes. Now, if you guys have any other questions, let us know here at eTrailer. And again, I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.